Hey everyone, it's Andrea. I'm still the assistant manager at Collector's Corner in Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm still going to be giving you my staff picks for the week of March 19th. Let's start out with the only DC book I'm currently reading. Ta-da! Wonder Woman! They announced recently that the team on Wonder Woman is going to be changing. It's no longer going to be Azzarello and Chiang, and I'm going to give it probably about 3 issues after that, and then we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. As for this issue, issue 29, it was really good. I liked it a lot. Um, it has Diana taking a little bit more control of the situation, because I feel in the last couple of issues she's been more of a supporting character. I think that the story arc that they're touching on is going to be really interesting. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm going to be really upset when everything changes, and I'm going to keep an open mind and hope that everything goes well, because this is literally the only DC book that I'm reading. Maybe that's because I am not a fan of what they're putting out. Maybe it's because of what DC is putting out, but as things break down, this is really the only DC book that I'm reading. That doesn't mean that I'm not catching stuff in trades. I've been reading The Unwritten and Fables and, all that sort of stuff in trades, but as for single issues, Wonder Woman is the only DC book that I have on my list. Going to the bulk of my staff picks this week is Marvel, which is weird, because I started out as a DC girl, and now Marvel has a firm hold on me. We're going to start with the end of Marvel Knights Hulk, issue 4, by that Joe Keating guy. You may have heard of him. He did the Morbius series, he did an issue of Amazing Spider-Man, he's also doing an upcoming Age of Ultron What If. That looks to be really interesting and cool. The 4th issue has some really cool set pieces. There's actually a scene in particular that reminded me a lot of the Walt Simonson Thor. I think because they actually used that same sound effect. And I think it's really an interesting take. I didn't really care about the Hulk, and I understand that there are certain series that I should probably read that would make me more interested in it, but at the moment they are kind of low on the stack. And so because of that, I grabbed Marvel Knights Hulk off the shelf, thinking that it was going to be kind of a one-off alternate universe thing, which it was, and it was really cool. And it made me care about the character in a way that I didn't think I would be able to care about the Hulk. I thought it was really interesting, really well done. If you can pick up all 4 issues, definitely pick it up. If not, wait for the trade. It's going to be awesome. Wolverine and the X-Men, issue 2 is up next. This is issue 2 of the all-new Marvel Now stuff, which has got to be the most redundant tagline. Come on, Marvel. Look at your marketing department. The Wolverine and the X-Men, I mean, it's staying good to me. I like it. It's cool. I'm excited to see they're doing more stuff with the Phoenix. I'm a really big fan of the idea of the Phoenix, not so much of Jean. I'm sure that she can be lovely, and I'm sure that she has great character development. I just haven't hit upon the series that show that development yet. So while I'm sure they're out there, and while I'm sure she is a great character, personally, I'm not a big fan of Jean Grey. Quentin Quire, on the other hand, is a snot-nosed little brat, and I love him. And he also has, oh man, let me show you guys. His t-shirt in this issue kills me. There he is. Days of Future Pasta. Days of Future Pasta. I need all of these shirts that you're showing in Wolverine and the X-Men Marvel. Make it happen. Daredevil, #1. Speaking of all new Marvel now. The Mark Waid Daredevil stuff is on my list of things to read. Right now I'm just getting to his run on Fantastic Four, which the trade I got starts at issue 60. So I'm reading that. I really like it. It's really interesting. I have been meaning to pick up Daredevil, so I decided to pick it up at the issue 1, which is the idea. Issue 1s, these are always good ideas, even if the numbering doesn't always make sense. I'm looking at you, Uncanny X-Men. I tried to read you and I had no idea what was happening. So Daredevil, this is a really good issue because it gives a touch on the origin. It doesn't tell you why he's in LA. You just kind of accept it, and then it doesn't really touch on what happened with him and Foggy, but you know that something did happen, and that you have a feeling they're going to explain it more in issue 2. So for me, it's really a perfect jumping on point. I would definitely recommend picking up the Daredevil #1 that came out this week. Finishing off Marvel, I have Miss Marvel issue 2. This was probably better than the first issue, which is surprising to believe because it was a really strong first issue. I had a complaint from a friend of mine who is not a fan of comics, but she wanted to read Miss Marvel because she had heard so much about it. And her complaint was that at the end of issue 1, you have Kamala, and she looks like Miss Marvel, which is statuesque, blonde, blue eyes, and she didn't understand why they're hyping up this, not average superhero and then turning her into the average superhero. And I'll be excited to get her issue 2 because it does help to explain kind of what's happening. It's cool. The artwork is breathtaking. I just love the way the artwork is done, and it's getting a little bit more into what you think her powers might be, and it's just a really solid second issue. I definitely recommend picking it up. And the second printing of issue 1 comes out today as well, so definitely pick that up. Rounding us out, I have from Image, Ghosted #8. I really like this second story arc a lot more than the first one, I'll be honest. I mean, haunted houses are great, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about a crazy Mexican cartel that runs a prostitute ring with girls that are possessed by demons that really does it for me. It's cool. The artwork is still really great, and where they're going with this second story arc, I'm excited. The final panel reminds me a little bit of Manifest Destiny, which has been a really great book so far. So definitely pick up Ghosted. It's really great. And again, Volume 1 is out, Haunted Heist. I would definitely recommend picking that up as well. My last comic for this week, Sex Criminals issue 5. This is the final issue in the first arc of Sex Criminals. They are taking a break, and they'll be back in June, which, how dare they? I mean, I need as much Sex Criminals as possible right now. I need more Kegel face. That needs to happen. And, man, it's so good. Top of my Image list is Sex Criminals. It's funny and just interesting and good, and Matt Fraction is killing it for me. So, and it helps that Chip, he is such a cutie pie. He is killing it on artwork, and they're both just, so great to their community. And I think Chip took off his pants for a webcast. I mean, that's customer service right there. So, this issue 5 is cool. It gets into a couple of different things and wraps it up only just a tiny bit and leaves you begging for more, which is how Sex Criminals should be. Man, my staff pick for this week is going to be really hard, but I think I'm going to go with Daredevil. Just because it was, for me, a perfect jumping on point. It's what the all-new Marvel Now #1s should be, and I really thought it was cool. The Mark Waid Daredevil run is definitely angling its way towards the top of my reading pile. I'm excited. I think it's cool. Good job, guys. Daredevil #1, definitely pick it up. Staff picks for this week include Wonder Woman, Marvel Knights Hulk, Wolverine and the X-Men, Miss Marvel, Daredevil, Ghosted, and Sex Criminals. All awesome books, and awesome week in comics. And I'll see you at the comic shop.